Hey everyone, Future Tyler here. Before we get into the video, I just want to clear something up first. I've had this idea to do a tongue-in-cheek episode of What If for a while, and despite my research, it wasn't until a few days ago after I had finished writing and recording that I came across Fast Pass Facts video covering almost the same thing. It's a lot of fun, and I'm attaching the link below as I highly recommend you check out their different take on the idea. I just wanted to clear up any potential misunderstandings before we begin, as any overlap between the two is completely unintentional. Alright, let's bring on the ghosts. Yesterday. Tomorrow. Fantasy. It's more than a linear path. It's a hub of endless possibility, where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate attractions from the ones you know. I am the Visioneer. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if? July 2003. Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl sails into theaters, becoming the surprise hit of the summer and going on to earn over $650 million. As the film that launched 1,000 sequels, Black Pearl paved the way for Disney's biggest non-acquired franchise, which meant its inevitable shoehorning into the very attraction that once served as its source of inspiration. In 2006, to coincide with the release of Dead Man's Chest, both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom's attractions reopened with major modifications. These updates saw the inclusion of franchise villains Davy Jones and Barbossa, and not one, not two, but 3 separate Jack Sparrow animatronics. Despite having a mixed response among the fan base, these additions have since been replicated in one form or another in the rest of Disney's global resorts, culminating with an entirely new land, show, and e-ticket for Shanghai Disneyland. And this isn't even touching on Tom Sawyer Island's makeover, the Black Pearl's recent inclusion in Disneyland's Fantasmic, or Johnny Depp himself actually appearing in the ride for a press stunt back in 2017.
Who wants rum? So do I. Bring it.
All this to say, it's clear the Pirates franchise won't be leaving the parks anytime soon. Now, some of you may be wondering what this all has to do with the Haunted Mansion. Well, not 4 months after Black Pearl's release, New Orleans Square's other landmark attraction received its own movie adaptation, the results of which were mixed.
Dark spirits from the grave, come forth.
Don't you make no dark spirits come out while I'm sitting there. Wait till I leave before the dark spirits come out.
The Haunted Mansion.
The film's beautiful set design and makeup effects were unfortunately overshadowed by a lackluster story and miscast lead. Ironically, in a surprisingly similar manner to the Lion King Pocahontas upset in the 90s, Disney execs were certain that Pirates would be ruined by Johnny Depp, who was playing, at least according to Michael Eisner, a drunk gay pirate, while Eddie Murphy would provide the surefire hit that year. They were quickly proven wrong, and the latter film was a complete box office flop, effectively killing the theme park movie genre, besides the Pirates franchise, for over a decade. The film fell into obscurity and has since been overshadowed by much better tributes.
You know what? I just realized this room has no windows and no doors.
Which offers this chilling challenge to find a way out.
Wait a minute. You mean a way out of the room or out of the house?
What? You're kind of killing the moment here. I meant the room.
Sorry.
But what if this scenario was reversed, and Disney's prediction actually came true? What if the Haunted Mansion movie was a success? And what potentially controversial changes would they make to the revered attraction? In an effort to keep this series as grounded as possible, I would like to believe that despite this alternate timeline, Imagineering would still retain some control over what was placed into the attraction. All of the mansion's recent additions have kept in line with the spirit of the original, with Florida's Escher staircase scene in 2007, and the return of California's Hatbox Ghost in 2016. Just as the Pirates rides exist outside of the series' continuity, this mansion update would serve as a prequel of sorts to the film, which means there will be no direct appearance of the smiling menace in my pitch. Also, the movie literally ends with all the ghosts going to heaven, so kind of hard to justify a perpetual haunted mansion. And it's the ghosts we care about anyway, right?
I don't think it's a good idea to put that information on the listing, though. We should talk about how many bathrooms are in the house. People love bathrooms. We should play up the whole toilet angle and leave out ghosts for now. I think that'd be best.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion. Starting our journey outside, the attraction's facade and queue would remain mostly the same. A few new headstones would bear the names of the film's characters, with the traditional rhyming epitaph describing their deaths. At night, Elizabeth's blue ghost orb could be seen in the windows moving from room to room, because there must be some universe where this effect still works. Moving into the foyer, I absolutely refuse to eliminate Paul Frees's narration. Yes, I know Corey Burton replaces him for the holidays, but that's a temporary overlay, and these changes would be theoretically permanent, God forbid, and there are just some things that have to remain. That said, Ramsley the butler could now provide the attraction's breakdown spiel. The stretching rooms also go largely unchanged, save for one of the 4 portraits being swapped out for Emma the maid in one gallery, and Ezra the butler in the other. Since their cause of death is unknown, let's say Emma's will show her accidentally lighting a room on fire, and Ezra's will be driving a carriage revealed to have crashed into an alligator-infested swamp. The hanging skeleton also remains, as Disney couldn't actually show Gracie's real corpse. At least in America. The subsequent hallway would largely survive intact, as it was recreated nearly identically for the film. Perhaps if they can score Nathaniel Parker's likeness, they could update the Master Gracie portrait, but the rest will stay as is. As we move into the load area, we find the first drastically major addition to the attraction. As I said before, the film's set design is just so incredible, and the ride's boundless realm of the supernatural has always felt kinda lacking. So this space would be transformed into the film's foyer. In fact, some actual set pieces could be included, as both the foyer and the ballroom sets were on display at Disney's Hollywood Studios for a while after filming. Continuing on to the ride itself, as the Doom buggies round the corner past the stairs, additional suits of armor would now line the halls of the endless hallway. Several could turn their heads or slightly adjust their arms to give the appearance of being alive. In a similar vein to Davy Jones's appearance in Pirates, a projection of Ramsay the butler would periodically manifest and walk through the opposite wall, sneering at us as he passed by. The following conservatory and hallway of doors also make a cameo in the film, justifying little need to change those scenes. In the most obvious and painful move, Jennifer Tilly would definitely have replaced our Madame Leota, even if she just recited the same dialogue with 1 or 2 additional warnings about the film's ambiguous curse. And while her current floating effect would not arrive until 2006, it was semi-prophesized in the film, so I think it's safe to include it here as well. As for the ballroom, the dancers and party guests would now reflect the film's masquerade ball, and an animatronic ghost of Elizabeth would be added near the fireplace holding her fateful letter. Upon the balcony would stand Master Gracie surveying the scene. Taking a page out of Phantom Manor's playbook, Elizabeth and the other ghosts would disappear during the lightning flashes, leaving him alone and pining for his lost love. Elizabeth's story continues in the attic, as her glowing spirit orb could be seen hovering in several spots. Her portrait and trunk would be prominently displayed, as well as any other leftover props. The film's music box soundtrack would replace the scene's existing bridal march, and instead of Constance, Elizabeth's ghost would now appear in a similar fashion at the end of the scene. To the filmmaker's credit, the one scene they translated almost perfectly from the attraction was the graveyard. Therefore, I see little reason to change or add anything to it. I suppose if Disney was feeling extra spicy, they could add animatronics or projections of Ezra and Emma on a carriage or something, but honestly, that just feels gratuitous. Towards the end of the scene, the entrance to the mausoleum would now reflect the film's iteration, because again, gorgeous. But the hitchhiking ghost would stay because A, in the film, and B, we've seen what it looks like when they're messed with, and it ain't pretty. After exiting the Doom buggies, instead of a little Leota, a little Elizabeth would wish us to hurry back and stay forever and ever. as we finally made our way back into the sunlight and out of this theoretical nightmare. Of course, this isn't considering all the changes that could take place in Florida's mansion or any of the global ones, but I think it's best to stop this hypothetical while we're ahead. While this version of the ride thankfully never came to pass, the film did end up finding a way into the attraction after all, as several of the dining room chairs can now be found in both of California and Orlando's attic scenes, and ironically enough, Jack Sparrow's final appearance in Pirates of the Caribbean. So next time you experience either attraction, may they remind you of what could have been, and what was avoided. After all, in a multiverse of possibilities, perhaps some questions are better left unanswered. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, share, or subscribe, and be sure to check out the other episodes in this series. This month also brings a new set of videos exclusive to our Patreon, which you can watch for as little as $1 a month. And I want to give a special shout out to our recently married Platinum Visioneer Garrett Gordon and his new bride Catherine, and my assistant to the Regional Manager Alyssa Clark. Thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you all a little later.
Hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate. If you decide to join us, make your final arrangements now. We've been dying to have you.